Quick summary for NBFC audit chapter. Key takeaways. A company incorporated under the Companies Act and desirous of commencing business of non-banking financial institution as defined under Section 45IA of the RBI Act 1934 can apply to the Reserve Bank of India in prescribed form along with necessary documents for registration. The RBI issues certificate of registration after satisfying itself that the conditions as enumerated in Section 45IA of the RBI Act 1934 are satisfied. A non-banking company is defined under RBI Act as आरबीआई एक्ट में नॉन बैंकिंग एनबीएफसी को कैसे डिफाइन किया है अ फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन विच इज अ कंपनी अ नॉन बैंकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन विच इज अ कंपनी एंड विच हैज एज इट्स प्रिंसिपल बिजनेस the receiving of deposits under any scheme or arrangement or in any other manner or lending in any manner. Third, such other non-banking institution or class of such institutions as the bank may, with the previous approval of the central government and by notification in the official gazette specify. Further, in order to identify a particular company as NBFC, it will consider both asset and income pattern as evidenced from the last audited balance sheet of the company to decide its principal business. The company will be treated as NBFC when a company's financial assets constitute more than 50% of the total assets netted off by intangible assets. Total assets minus intangible assets into 50%, and income from financial assets constitute more than 50% of the gross income. Gross income का 50% or more. A company which fulfills both these criteria shall qualify as an NBFC and would require to be registered as NBFC by RBI under Section 45IA. RBI has issued directions to non-banking financial companies on acceptance of public deposits, prudential norms like capital adequacy, income recognition, asset classification, provision for bad and doubtful debts, risk exposure norms, and other measures to monitor the financial solvency and reporting by NBFCs. RBI has introduced scale-based regulations for NBFCs based on four layers that are defined based on their size, activity, and perceived riskiness. The four layers are base layer, middle layer, upper layer and top layer. चार लेयर होती हैं एनबीएफसी में. बेस लेयर, मिडिल लेयर, अपर लेयर, टॉप लेयर. NBFCs lend like banks. However, such entities cannot accept demand deposits, although some can accept term deposits, that is FD, fixed deposits or term deposits. These also do not form part of payment and settlement system. DICGC cover is not available to depositors of NBFC. मतलब इंश्योरेंस नहीं होता है. जैसे कि आपको बैंक में मिल जाता है 50,000 तक का इंश्योरेंस कि आपका 50,000 तक का मतलब मान लो 5 लाख रुपए हैं, बट 5 लाख चोरी हो गए, तो 50,000 जो है वो DICGC का इंश्योरेंस रहता है, तो वो आपको रिकवर हो जाएंगे. बाकी के 4,50,000 भले ही उड़ गए. तो वैसा इंश्योरेंस कवर आपको एनबीएफसी में नहीं मिलता. नो मिनिमम एक्सपोजर टू प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर इज रिक्वायर्ड बाय एनबीएफसी. Every applicable NBFC shall, after taking into account the time lag between an account becoming non-performing, its recognition as such, the realization of the security, and the erosion over time in the value of security charged, make provision against substandard assets, doubtful assets, and loss assets in accordance with prescribed norms. Audit procedures for NBFCs have to be tailored in accordance of nature of business of NBFCs and regulatory directions. Besides issuing a report in accordance with requirements of Section 143(3) of the Companies Act and covering matters specified under CARO 2020, statutory auditor of NBFC is also required to submit an additional report to Board of Directors of the company. RBI has issued NBFC Auditors Report Reserve Bank Directions 2016, the directions to auditor of every non-banking financial company in this regard. Under these directions, auditor of an NBFC has to submit an additional report to the board of directors of the company covering matters specified in these directions. So for that you have to visit the circular on scale-based regulations SBR norms. आज के लिए बस इतना ही. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में.